Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Nathan from MyCryptoParadise. In today's video, we'll look at the EOS, one of the top coins yet again. We will look also at the overall market sentiment, try to understand what happened during the weekend on this huge drop on the Bitcoin from 65,000 down to 50k in just a matter of hours. I mean, this was pretty amazing, a fast drop in price, nearly 23% decline. What is next? We will talk about that. We will talk about the EOS and look at the market sentiment as well. So let's start with a coin 360 first, where we see that the market is recovering. So most of the coins are green, if not all, just few of them. Nano is red, DAI is red, but overall you can see that there is a recovery going on, which seems to be like sentiment is turning back to very bullish. Now let's have a look at the coin market cap, and here EOS is ranked number 22 with a total market cap of $6.734 billion. If we look at the past 7 days graph, we can see that the price also starting to recover, and compared to other coins, well, we can see most of them are still dropping. So EOS is looking pretty good, and we might be seeing actually starting a strong recovery across the board along with EOS, but certainly the risk of further downside could be the case. We will look into that in a moment. Now let's start with the analysis that we already made previously and go through them one by one. Well, Stellar was the oldest one, and as we can see, this was our forecast that the price is likely to go down to the trend line and then continue moving up towards $1.16. So here is still a way to the rise. We can still expect a total growth of 122% on the Stellar. So pretty amazing growth here, but we must consider that there is this resistance which we were predicting. There was this bounce, and currently price is stuck between the support at 0.47 and resistance at 0.67. Overall, the market is bullish, trendline got rejected, and this could be the case, massive growth over 100%. So here is Wi-Fi, another forecast of ours. We saw this bottom coming. So here we had very strong demand area because previously it was the supply, became the demand, and bulls pick up the Wi-Fi, and we see that the price is actually rising, not straight away after we publish this analysis, but after a week we see that the price has gone through a steady rise, and still we can expect the growth of 35% at the very least. Probably the price will go higher towards the $100,000 as we discussed in our original Wi-Fi analysis. The next one is Stellar. Also, we saw this bottom, and based on the Elliott wave theory, this has been an excellent buying opportunity, and as we can see, price skyrocketed. Overall, still could be the case for a growth towards the $100 psychological area, maybe even higher, but overall it is still a bullish market. We have reached the first resistance and expecting further growth as well. Eagle, we have spotted this bottom here, and we're expecting the price to rise from this point onwards, although also there was some consolidation, but overall price has reached the resistance, went slightly higher, which implies that the bulls are still in control. Overall, the target has been tested, the final target, and we had this massive corrective move to the downside towards the uptrend trend line, which is an average price trend line. And right now, considering that there was this breakout, there is certainly a more bullish potential. Now, in regards to EVE, what we had is expectancy for this massive growth to the upside, and the key support has been formed at $300. What we can see, one retest of 300, another retest, as well as the trend line. So overall, it still is bullish with the nearest resistance at $530 and potentially $560. Still bullish case. In regards to the Trx analysis, it went exceptionally well. As we actually suggested, it went towards the key resistance pretty fast, but what happened next? It went much higher. So overall now is the pullback and could be the continuation of the massive uptrend. Now if we look at the icon weekly chart, the support has been formed at $1.8. And what has happened on the recent pullback is that price nearly tested this level, slightly higher price went. Now, another thing is that the new cycle has started, and considering that the support has been rejected, we still expect a massive growth. So we shared analysis once the price was at the support. We can see that icon has risen by 77%, then back to the support, and we still expect the growth of about 170% on the current move. Obviously, we need to hold the support. Only as long as it's valid, we can expect further uptrend. Now, CRV. If we look at the Elliott wave theory, we are actually in the wave 5, which could be the final wave. We haven't reached the resistance that we were expecting near the $5. Price has retested the key support we mentioned previously, and still we do expect the growth towards the $5 area. From this point, that would be a growth of approximately 60%. Moving on to Bitcoin Cash, we were expecting the move to the downside if there will be the break below the $500. It did occur, price went down, tested the support that we were expecting and failed to close below on the daily time frame. And from this point, we can see a very steady uptrend. We tested our key resistance and final target, and price went up further. So this is another confirmation that the cryptocurrency market is very bullish, and this resistance is likely to become now the support from where price will continue to rise. Moving to the 0x, this also exactly what we were expecting. Price did move towards the $2.33 resistance as we predicted. Very nice rejection of this resistance. Now we're seeing this pullback towards the support area, which is 61.8 fips. So now clearly price at the support, at the trend line, which is being rejected, which might suggest yet again a continuation of an uptrend. So this bottom across the board on altcoins and Bitcoin could be playing a key role in further price development. And finally, the ocean, where we expected the small growth, which did occur. It went slightly higher than we were expecting, and then we can see also strong move to the downside. So the key support at $1.15 is being respected. Price nearly tested it. There is a potential for this retest of the support, although market is still bullish considering the previously made low hasn't been broken, with the daily close being above it. Now time to move to the EOS. Now this is the 4-day chart, and what we're looking for is basically this trend line. This is the resistant trend line, which was penetrated back on the February 14th. This was the very first very bullish sign for EOS, after which we can actually see price went down quite sharply and retested the supply demand area near $3.43. There were multiple bounces of this area previously, and here it acted as the support. So after the bounce, we see that there was a nice move to the upside, nice rise, and right now price is looking extremely bullish. Now back to the May 2020, where we see this bottom formation and the first corrective move after the bottom has been formed. Now we have two bottoms at this price, and we have used fibs to apply to this corrective move. Now this gives us a potential resistance or an upside target, which is 927.2% fibs, located at $12.7. overall, this is a 127% growth potential on EOS from this bottom. And as we can see, when the market has been declining sharply, it produced this spike and clearly bounced off the $5.64 where the previous resistance has been formed. Now, this is the key support area for the EOS, and as long as daily close is above this price, it will be an extremely bullish trend. Now, what will happen if there will be a daily close below this support? There could be further selling pressure, which is highly unlikely at this stage, but nonetheless, if that happens, we might be expecting a retest of $3.44 area once again. So very, very important to see that the daily closing price will remain above $5.64. All in all, we might be expecting some pullback and then rise to the upside, but we'll talk about that in a second. Most importantly is that we hold this support area for the uptrend to continue. Now let's move to the daily time frame, and on this chart we can see an average price uptrend trend line. We got multiple rejections of the trend line. It was acting as the support, then acting as the resistance, and now acting as the support. So very important trend line to watch, and as long as the price is above the trend line and especially above $5.73 low, we are in a bullish market, a very strong bullish market. So from this point onwards, the price is expected to continue rising, although we might be testing the trend line once again before that occurs for our chart. So what we have is a simple uptrend trend line, and we had this bounce of the trend line. This bounce here is very, very, very important, because here we had the rejection of multiple support indicators. Well, first obviously is the simple uptrend trend line. Now the next one is the moving average, which is 200 simple period. We had a previously bounce here, also a very clean rejection. Then we had another bounce. And finally, if we look at the simple ascending channel, okay, we extended, and this was the bottom. This was extremely clean rejection of the bottom of the channel, along with the trend line and moving average. This implies that this level at 5.62 is the key support right now. Another point, here is the rejection of this area multiple times, and this is a 50% Fibonacci retracement level based on this overall growth. And what we had is another bounce of this area, which is 50% Fibs at $6.16. We had also a clean bounce here. First there was a spike, and then there was a clean rejection of this level. And right now price is producing higher highs and higher lows. Nonetheless, there is another area to watch, which we will discuss in the next chart. But let's just firstly jump back to the daily time frame, because here I completely forgot to share with you this resistance, which is now confirmed with 2 Fibonacci retracement levels. We had this average price uptrend trend line. There was this first pullback, the same as we saw on the 4-day chart. We have applied another Fibs to this pullback, and we have 927.2 and 661.8 Fibs, almost precisely at $12.6. And if we look at the current price and just move it up, this could be an 80% price increase in the near future. It looks like the uptrend should be starting any moment, but it might take a week or two. Now finally, let's move to the 1 hour chart. On this chart, we have another simple uptrend trend line. This trend line got penetrated right there. Price just sliced through that. It sliced through this support area as well, and has reached this support, which is $6.3. Previously, there was a very clean rejection of this 200 simple moving average. There was another rejection of the moving average. overall price is respecting the moving average because this support hasn't been broken. As long as the daily closing price is above this low, we are likely to see further price increase. Right now, price is trading near this supply demand area, and very important that we break above this area and then find a support. So the most interesting would be the scenario where the price will move up, move down, rejecting the trend line and rejecting this support area, and then we might be seeing a continuation of the uptrend. On the other hand, considering that the price is now bouncing off the trend line, there could be this decline towards 61.8, or there could be decline towards 88.6% FIPS, because this corresponds, this level, to the previous level of support. So while the trend is extremely bullish, we can also see, guys, there was a clean bounce of the 61.8 FIPS based on the last strong wave to the upside. So here is the key support which can be retested easily before the price continues to rise. So these two levels must be watched very closely for the buyers, because these are the most interesting prices from where EOS should be starting to rise further. Now, we also saw this break above the trend line and the break above the moving average, but then again price return below the supply demand area, suggesting there is a further consolidation and could be providing an excellent buying opportunity. The lower price will get, the better the risk reward could be for the buyers, but obviously as long as we hold this low on the daily time frame. All right, that's all for today, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to take it easy and smooth, and see you next time.